Like at low speeds, I can guarantee you I'm having more fun than that guy in his beautifully spec'd 992 Carrera S. We're back. Marcus here with another POV. I like to introduce myself every few videos in case you haven't remembered. Or if you've never checked out the main channel, I will not be doing a full review with this car on the main channel. The only reason I'm driving this today and thought it might be a good quick POV for you guys is because another car I was supposed to drive had a few issues. In fact, it had pretty much every warning in the book on the dash. On top of that, the battery was dead. So I'm pretty sure all of those issues just stemmed from that, and then the system did not like it even when it did finally start up. So long story short, MX-5 RF 2025 model, retractable folding hardtop, of course, the RF. This one's murdered out, black everything, except on the interior, as you'll see in a second, some kind of silver accents. But last time I drove one of these on the main channel, I said I was never going to drive one of these again. I've driven at least 4 or 5 over the years, and there's not much more I could say about it. It's a great car, obviously, naturally aspirated, Sky Active, 2-liter inline-4 under the hood. I mean, at this point, if you're new to MX-5s, where have you been? Longitudinally mounted, front engine, obviously, rear-wheel drive, LSD in the back. I believe I'm correct in saying all MX-5s with a manual transmission are equipped with an LSD. There we go. Simple engine, old school sports car concept. Not a lot of power, 181 horsepower, 180 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. And it is pretty high in the rev band. Great looking car. I think the ND is the best generation MX-5 to look at. I haven't driven a lot of bone stock older generations. A lot of the ones I've driven have been heavily modified, either with turbo kits or whatever else, but I have driven a factory NA Miata, and they are incredibly different, but only in the sense that you just, in this car, get a few extra modern things. Huge trunk, considering the size of this car. Everything's just thin and small, yet still completely dailyable. And this car just, in essence, is supposed to give you a fun experience, an exciting experience at any speed. And it completely succeeds in doing that. We're gonna go for a drive in a second. This spec is the base RF. So it does not have the Brembo brakes, it doesn't have the BBS wheels, and it does not, actually it does have the Bilstein suspension. All RFs, I believe, do come with that Bilstein suspension, but it does not have the Recaro seats on the interior. I've never actually seen an ND with Recaros in person. I don't believe you are able to spec any MX-5 in Canada with what you guys in the States get, which is the club trim level. We don't have that as an option. We do have the GT model, which gives you leather seats instead of these cloth and Alcantara seats. I would, even if I was in the States, spec these seats. They're really comfortable. Always loved that body color trim on the door. What we are gonna do is put the top down, as you do. Kind of crazy. We might get some weird looks because it is incredibly cold out. Well, by Canadian standards, not incredibly cold out, but it's cold enough. Okay, it was 7 before on the way here. It's 9 degrees Celsius now. So in the 50s, I think, for you guys in Fahrenheit land. Yeah, there you go. You get a little bit of additional airflow through the back as well, and then of course through the top, but I'm gonna keep the windows up to make sure the audio is good. My last video on this on the main channel was just focused on the next generation, really, and what Mazda could do with that car. biggest difference between a stock NA and ND is the torque. The refinement in the interior, yeah, that's all well and good, but from a driving perspective, it's just 3,000 RPM, and you actually have legitimate passing torque, which with an NA, you would have to just wring the thing out every single gear change because they made so much less power. But we do have some corners coming up here. Would I be interested in the next generation M5 if it were something like a plug-in hybrid, or even like that concept car that came out a while ago that was a rotary powered hybrid, but the rotary engine was just used as a generator? No, I absolutely would not. Would I be interested in a hybrid if it didn't add too much weight but gave me more kind of weird torque capabilities and vectoring and stuff like that? Yes, but I hope they don't do that. One thing I wish these cars had was a heated steering wheel. I thought that on the way here, but then here I am thinking, this car is already so expensive. I believe about just over $40,000 Canadian for the RF, or about 36,000 USD. So that would just be another thing to add cost onto what is supposed to be kind of an affordable car. So you just kind of put the vents on your hands and you're good to go. Heated seats are great. This base model does not come with wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. It is wired, so that's kind of a little bit of a miss there, but I do like how you're able to spec kind of a more GT style, comfortable package. Like at low speeds, I can guarantee you I'm having more fun than that guy in his beautifully spec'd 992 Carrera S. Great daily driver sports car, but so big, and at low speeds just doesn't give you, as James May would call it, the fizz. Takes bumps fairly well. You do feel the brake-based torque vectoring working just a little bit. It is very subtle, but the rear differential is great. I mean, it feels like you can actually feel the rear axle, what the rear tires are doing. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you expect from the next generation MX-5? Are you just expecting them to continue this recipe forever? Can they even do that? Yeah, EV cars and sales are slowing, but you know, and as efficient as a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine is, can they just continue doing this forever, and will people still buy? Where does the novelty come from? Where does the innovation come from in 2025 from such an old school concept? I don't know. It's not a car that needs innovation, and that's the problem when you're running a business and you need a product line that evolves and keeps people interested. It's kind of like phones. When cell phones came out, not when they came out, but let's say 10 years ago, all this new tech and camera technology and stuff was getting added, it was a huge deal every single year to get a new phone. Now, not so much. I don't know about you guys, I buy a new phone maybe every 3 years. And that seems to be kind of the sweet spot to where I don't get left behind, but at the same time, I'm not wasting money every year, right? And the MX-5 is kind of similar in that way. I don't think Mazda's in a rush to bring out a new model. But on the other hand, I feel like anybody who wants to buy an ND or kind of this vehicle would suit their life, I think they've already bought one and are enjoying it. All right, for the last bit, I'll put the hardtop up so you can hear the engine a little bit better. You do have to hold it. It's kind of annoying, but. Pretty quick too. That was, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 seconds. I mean, shifter, you guys know. Short, notchy, pretty much perfect. Clutch feel is awesome. Pedal travel isn't too long. Throttle response. This is a car that if you've been, I don't know, accustomed or kind of softened up by turbocharged engines, then this is the car that might make you appreciate, once again, a naturally aspirated engine. The throttle is just calibrated so well. It feels like there's an actual connection, despite it, of course, being drive-by-wire. It's so good. All right, you guys, that's it. Final drive with the MX-5. I've had my fun. I've done so many videos on the main channel with the ND, so you can watch any number of those to get my full thoughts. I'll put the last one, I believe it was the last one, talking about what the next generation could be. I'll put that link in the description or on screen right now. Go watch that. You probably will enjoy it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.